Hey guys, Micah from blackbearcustomkydex. I just wanted to give one final little video and shout out to my buddy Scott over in Australia, who he and I have been doing these trades. I'm sure you've already seen videos from previous trades, and then I've done like 6 or 7 for this particular trade. So I apologize if this is redundant, and I am going to just give you the heads up that I'm going to quickly show you each of the sheaths as like a recap video. I'm not going to go over all the details on them, but in any event, I don't think I had shown the final product on one of these, so he asked for 2 different sheaths for this Bark River Bravo 1 LT, which is a great knife. I'm pretty sure he has the rampless version. I've got the ramped, so I think they'll work still. I just have to, do the same thing, obviously accounting for the space for the ramp, but I think it'll fit all the other dimensions on the rampless and work out just fine. So in any event, the first sheath I know I did in a video, we've got this Riptile with this black Raptor faux leather looking Kydex, which has a ceramic rod mostly exposed so that you can actually do all of your honing and stuff while the knife or while the rod is attached to the sheath. It gives you a nice big handle to grip onto, so you don't have to worry about maneuvering your fingers all strange or avoiding slicing the tip off or whatever. But in any event, this is set up to be a leather dangler. He's already got several danglers, so he has me just send him this, apparatus where he can swap out the danglers as he wants. And yeah, this came out really nice. So just giving you a quick look. No rattle, no play. Easy one-handed draw. And the other sheath that he asked for was in dark brown leather. So this one I actually chose to try just because I think the color combination looks really nice, but using the fake, so it's called Burgundy Raptor, I think. You get that same leather textured Kydex, only in like a burgundy color, and I use that for the inside of the, or for the actual Kydex portion of the sheath. And then we've got leather dyed dark brown, nice veg tan leather on there, and white stitching along the edges. So I thought this thing came out looking really, really beautiful. I love that color combination. Hopefully Scott likes it too. And this one is also for Bravo 1 LT. There we go. No rattle, no play. Nice one-handed draw. This one might even be, it's closer to ballistic. That ramp, I think, just when you click it off, it just causes an issue with actually being able to get it to go ballistic. But it comes off very easily. So, all right. So those are the Bravo 1 LT sheaths. I really love this one. I am super partial to the leather over Kydex. I think it's gorgeous. So, all right, that's what I got there. And then, like I said, just real quick, I will show off the other ones. So we got here a custom knife, I think. Well, maybe it's from AD Knives. I don't know the model or anything like that, but it's a nice, beautiful knife. And we got this black Raptor Kydex sheath set up for a leather dangler. We have the Benchmade Nestuka cleaver. I think that's what this thing is called. It's kind of like a cross between a Nesmic and a cleaver. And he told me to pick the colors on this one, so I chose flat dark earth, and then it's called whiskey texture Kydex. So it's an alternative to the Raptor texture, but gives you still some of that faux leather texture. It looks really nice. And these 2 colors together look sleek. So the whole idea behind this sheath is it is Tech-Lock or Molly friendly. You can put either of those clips on it, and he's got plenty of both, so he told me not to send any. And it doesn't have a traditional retention, doesn't have like the same kind of Kydex click or anything, but you do get a pretty good amount of retention. You can hear it shift just a tiny bit. It's not going to be the same level of retention as a typical knife. Let me show you why. There's really nothing to grip onto. Unless you're molding, I molded just a tiny bit behind this metal here, and you could mold just a little bit here as well to get some of that click retention. But anyway, there's a video, an entire video on this knife, so go check that out. I think I had called it a Benchmade Nesmic in that one, but it's the Nestuka cleaver. So, pretty cool knife here. But how you want to get it back in, just make sure that the spines of the sheath and knife stay parallel-ish, and it should go in with no problem. And then drawing it out, you probably just want to grip it with whatever the last couple fingers of your grip of choice is. Just pull it out. Nice smooth draw. Alright. Next up we have this Bradford Guardian 4.5 in black multicam. This sheath came out looking really nice. Set up as a leather dangler as well. Got a good one-handed draw on it. Good click going back in. Oh, this is the sheath for the Nestucca cleaver. This is what it comes with. So you can see it's nothing terribly special. This one was cool. This is a Benchmade 940 and a Leatherman Skeletal. So you got an auto, whoops. I even went over this whole thing. You absolutely have to draw fast and flick your wrist. Oh geez. This is embarrassing. There we go. This very much has to do with the angle that you draw it at. So when you start drawing it out, you can see that it starts to open the blade for you, and you really need to flick your wrist to keep that momentum going. The 940 is just a really tough knife to get to auto deploy when you do a sheath for it. So there you go. And it also holds, of course, the Leatherman Skeletal, which can go in any direction. So you have lots of options. Front, back, upside down with either side facing forward. So that one's pretty cool. We have, oops, the last thing I did this was put my logo on it, and I forgot to take the tape off. I had to put something on the back to give a nice flat space to push against for the stamping. I'm glad I pulled this out to look at it. Alright, this one is a Falkneven A1, one of my favorite knives, and the sheath is done in black Raptor, set up for a leather dangler, and has a ceramic rod in a different style on it. So this one you can just pull off. It rides on the front in a typical just a little tube with some shot cord attached. I had to make a handle for the rod like that. The handle can come off if you pull it too hard. It's not welded or adhered or anything like that, so if you treat it gently, you'll have no issues. There's that one, and then where in the world? Okay, these two very, very similar setup. This is a Bark River Adventurer, and this is an Ontario Blackbird SK4. So this one's done in black with riptile on it, one of the riptile camos, and then it's got a black leather, I don't even know what to call this thing. I just guess I'm going to call it a scout strap or something. It's just a piece of black leather that's up and over, and you can slip your belt into it, which means that you can carry it horizontally, but ambidextrously on your front, your back, or either side. So you have a lot of options for orientation on that. That's pretty cool. And then the same thing with this one, same setup. So got a nice ballistic one-handed draw with that Bark River Adventurer. Good click going back in. Nice looking sheath in that whip texture, which is the same as whiskey texture, just in black or brown. You can see that. And then this guy's got a nice ballistic one-handed draw as well. Good click going back in, no rattle, no play. Alright, and then the last one to show you is the big piggyback system. This one is for an Ontario Woodsman, OKC Woodsman. Nice chopper size knife, about the same size as an Essie Hungless. And the piggyback on here is a Bark River Gunny Hunter, which is a great little knife. I say little, it's like a 4.5-inch blade. It's just a good EDC size. So Scott asked if I could set this one up for a leather dangler and then have it be a breakaway system for the secondary knife, the Bark River. And this one is set up as a right front pocket sheath. So what you do is you got to kind of wiggle this guy free, but you can break this sheath off of it. You see this one's in multicam with flat dark earth carbon fiber for the accent. So then you can use this sheath independently of the larger one. And so he intends to carry it like so, his right front pocket. You can just deploy the knife from there. Seat it back in. It's good to go. And when you want to rejoin it to the main sheath, just pop it in like so and seat it in. It's there, it's good. There's not really much movement on it. It has to be just a little bit because of the breakaway setup. That's just kind of part of the game, but you won't really find it rattling or making much noise on you. Then the other feature I added on here is I turned it into a breakaway dangler. So this is actually only the second breakaway dangler I've done. I've got a few more coming up soon. But the whole idea is that you can leave the leather loop on your belt and downgrade the actual sheath system. So if you're like in the campsite or something, you just want to take off the weight off your belt and just set it down next to you and enjoy your campfire or whatever you're doing. It's really easy to just separate that, and then when you want it back, you can just plug it in. So for those of you out there who want a fixed leather loop instead of a leather loop with snaps, because you know that a fixed loop is going to be much stronger, then you do have the option of a different method of removing the knife or the knives from your sheath or from your belt without having to undo your belt itself. So this is a pretty cool idea, and it was suggested by a customer not too long ago, so I was really glad to fulfill that and create another first in the Kydex world as far as I know. So you just plug that back in. I think it holds a significant amount of weight. I would say I actually upgraded the retention on it since the video that I recorded, the full comprehensive video on this one. So I would say this probably will hold up to, like, I don't know, maybe 50 pounds, 60 pounds of force there. So it's certainly sufficient to hold your sheets. But yeah, all right. So we got flat dark earth, olive drab, multicam, force digital, which is like the Marpat, and some flat dark earth carbon fiber accents thrown in there as well. All right, guys. If you like all these sheaths, all the videos I did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Scott. Thank you so much, brother, for all the awesome knives you sent my way, and I hope you get years and years of joy and use out of these sheaths I'm sending you, and look forward to more in the future. So, all right, guys, like, share, comment, subscribe, and stick around for the next one. God bless.